Golem, I wanted to toss it over to you as well. My favorite genre is, medieval RPGs. For your game, what does progression mean to you? And, maybe some of the topics we talked about here, short, mid, long-term goals, social advertising. How does that all play into your game?
Yeah, we definitely, we've touched on a lot of those core loop features here that, for example, in my game, the main progression, I would say, is the desire to conquer over the world. That is at the beginning really scary, right? You start out very vulnerable in this empty spot. You don't have a map. It's all clouded over. And then you see settlements around, right? And that ties into this social aspect of other people that have really good armor. They built out their settlement and they're just out there slaying monsters in the tallest mountains and stuff like that. So that's definitely the big motivator, right? Like wanting to be like that, the conqueror of this world. The goals are, first of all, make tools to survive, and then use those tools to make better tools so that you can grow your settlement. That's the main, I would say, gating feature that I have. There are 7 levels of your settlement, and each time you upgrade it, you get a bigger plot of land. And with that bigger plot of land, you unlock recipes that you can purchase, right? But usually you don't have money, which is coins in the game, to purchase all of them. So that's where those midterm goals come in, as in like, okay, what do I want to focus on? Getting the recipe for a cool new weapon, or this other armor, or this mount egg or something. And then you start working towards that using the short-term goals, which are just the more repetitive features for collecting money, whatever those are for your style of game play. It's just, you could focus on combat, or you can focus on just gathering materials and selling those, or even trading with other players. And this screenshot shows the skill system. So this is the other, together with the coins and the settlement levels that you have to purchase, right? You have to spend coin to upgrade your settlement. This is the other gating feature, the character level. So the goal of this is to offer a continuous sense of improvement on your character just by playing the game, right? So you're running around all the time. So sprinting, constantly picks up, and obviously this needs to be balanced so that you get, in the beginning, it's about a minute of doing that to pick up a level, and it grows exponentially, which encourages you to spread out your skill set, right? So this person, for example, really likes the two-handed weapon, but that's going to be really hard to level up at this point. So starting to use the bow is going to be your better bet to increase your level. So the goal of that is to vary it up for the player so that it's not always the same, and to offer some meaningful choices so they can have like interesting alternatives or moments of decision making that could change from one session to another, which I think is important as part of progression so that the game doesn't go stale.
Yeah, so you start out the game just picking up sticks and rocks, and then, as we saw in the video, at some point you're flying around on a dragon majestically and building out this really awesome home base, right?
Yeah, and it's even in the title. The dragon blade is the one thing that that's your purpose in this game to craft, right? So, and that's laid out to you early on in the tutorial, like that's your main final objective kind of thing. So everything else kind of builds up towards that, and how you approach that, it's the player's choice.
Yeah, so you made a conscious effort early on to show a player a long-term goal that they might not get for like weeks, or in some cases for some games months, right? As kind of like this is where you can get, and then you started to slowly introduce methods of progression over time to help them get to that final goal, right? That long-term goal.
Yeah, That's right, and it's wrapped within the story of the game. Like the tutorial lays out the story, like the lore of the land and why you're doing what you're doing, offering some kind of purpose, and then telling you, yes, that is your ultimate purpose. You are the chosen one. But however you get there, it's kind of up to you. That's kind of another aesthetic choice that I really like when games do that, like introduce you, show you where you're at, and kind of let you do your thing.
Yeah, so you introduce player agency, right? There's not one specific path to get to that final
Correct.
goal. It's whatever your players find the most fun and makes them feel like they're making meaningful progress, right?
Yeah, and even discovering the game system is fun for the players. Like I don't explicitly tell them like the more you level up on a specific skill, the harder it's going to be.
Yeah,
that's just something they find out eventually, and they feel smart, as in like, okay, I'm just going to start vary my gameplay style a little bit so that I level up faster. So I think these are fun decisions to make.
Could you give me an example on that topic of just like one of those midterm goals or midterm progression systems, like an option that a player has to go down in order to get to that final path versus like maybe another one in your game?
Yeah, so the main progression is gated by coins mainly. So if you like combat, for example, you might invest earlier on better weapons and or armor, depending if you're more of a defensive style. You can do shields and just kind of absorb a lot of damage, or you can go on a DPS, kind of a pole arm weapon or things like this. So, and these recipes are expensive, and the materials to craft them after you get the recipe are also require effort. So it takes a conscious choice to say, hey, I want this, golden battle axe or something that I just unlocked when I spent all my coin to finally get that level 5 settlement, right? Now I have a lot more space to build and to show off to other players. And all these cool new recipes are now available to me, but I need the coin and I need the materials, right?
Yeah.
So how you go about that, you can get the coins by doing combat chests, which are little challenges that give you a decent amount of coin. Or you can sell materials, or you can spawn eggs and hope you get a good one so you can get a good trade. So there are a few ways to get that coin, but the decision is mainly what kind of equipment I'm going for, or whether I'm just like playing the game to make a mount collection, right? So that that's also viable, and then you can sell the extra ones, and that will also take you on the main progression path.